Back to my channel. So as you may have guessed out of my little clue last week, I'm going to be talking about my dream guy. So that dream guy is Freddy. He's my little buddy here. So I'll pop him back over here with Jason. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about Freddy. So Nightmare on Elm Street, just the first one. I'm not going to be talking about any of the others right now. As I said, I'm going to do a whole series on prequels and sequels and everything like that. So please stay tuned. So I chose A Nightmare on Elm Street because it's another Wes Craven film, and I love Wes Craven. He's a great director, great writer, great producer, and he's fantastic. So I can't fault anything that he's done. I love it all. So that's why I've chosen this one. And then next week I will move on to another director. So stay tuned for that one. So let's get started. So the general synopsis for A Nightmare on Elm Street is a serial killer who kills people in their dreams. So what happened was, way before this all happened, is all the parents of the children on Elm Street got together and killed Freddy, and so now he's coming back to wreak his revenge on the families. So it all starts with a bunch of friends who get sort of, hanging out and all that sort of stuff. They're having nightmares, and Tina, who is one of the girls in it, is the first to be killed. And then from there it all spirals out of people having these nightmares and being killed in their dreams. I really like the idea of this because it could feel real, because we all have nightmares. We all have extremely scary nightmares. But this one is sort of like, oh, these people have died in their dreams. Like, it's a little scary when you first watch it. So I really liked that idea of it. I also really like that Robert Englund was chosen to play Freddy. I wouldn't have picked anybody else. He just plays Freddy so well, and he's sarcastic with trying to be a little grotesque and a little raunchy and creepy. It's all rolled into one, and it's so good. I love it so much. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about each character, and then I'll give a bit of a rounded up review. I'm doing a shorter one this time, so I apologize for the length of the last one. Won't happen again. So let's get started. So as I said, Robert Englund, I think, is a great Freddy. I would not pick anybody else to play Freddy. He's just such an iconic character, and Robert Englund really brought him to life. Next we have Heather Langenkamp, who plays Nancy. So Nancy is our main character in this one. People think she's going crazy because all her friends are dying around her, and she's trying to explain that it's this person in dreams, and nobody believes her. They all think it's just a brutal killing. And then they sort of start to remember about Freddy, and then it all sort of falls into place, and they start, at the end of it, they all sort of go, oh my goodness, what have we done? We did this to them. So it's pretty good. She's a really strong character. She is dating Glenn, who's played by Johnny Depp in this movie. So this is one of Johnny Depp's first movies. So it's cool to see a young Johnny in this. He plays Glenn, the good boyfriend, looks after her, and he eventually gets killed in probably the most gruesome killing of the first movie. There's nothing left of him, and his mum walks into the room being splattered with blood everywhere. So that's not very, very nice at all. So it's pretty gross. Apologies, Tina is played by Amanda Weiss. So sorry for looking down. I just wrote it down. I knew it was Amanda something, but I just forgot the surname. So another character, so Tina dies at the beginning of the movie, and so she's the first one to die, and that's where it all spirals. She is a strong character. She's really funny and tries to pretend she doesn't want Rod, who's played by Zoot Garcia, and so they're a bit of a tumultuous couple, and then eventually she gets killed by Freddy in her sleep, and it's blamed on Rod because he was there. And then Rod gets put into jail, and then he's also killed by Freddy, who stages a suicide. So it's pretty full on. And then throughout the movie, you meet Nancy's mum and dad. So we have Lieutenant Thompson, and we have Nancy's mum, and they are big but small roles. Their significance is they obviously are part of the parents that killed Freddy, so it sort of is on them, the reason why it's happening now. So it's pretty interesting. I don't know how I'd feel if my parents did that, so hopefully, they would never do that. Anywho, let's keep going. So apologies for rambling there a little. So to wrap up, I really love A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's another movie to watch when you're getting into horror, because Freddy's such an iconic character. You just don't forget him. He's the man with the the dirty orange, red and green sweater, his hat, his finger knives, his burnt skin. You just can't forget him. So I give this one a 4.5 out of 5 finger knives, because I think, again, it's just another really great movie to get started on, and it really just brings horror from 1984 to a whole new level. It sort of that's where you start seeing the more and more horror coming out. So I really enjoyed it. And just for those that are curious, it runs for 1 hour and 31 minutes. So if you want to watch it for the first time, that just gives you an idea on how much time you need to allow. So make sure you do. It gets pretty interesting. So if there's anyone who's sort of not sure about A Nightmare on Elm Street, watch a little bit of it and see how you go. I know some of you have probably watched the newer one, which is very different to the original. So make sure you watch the original, because it really starts the franchise going well. Okay, thanks. Bye.